Hello, Carm3D with you. Here to show you a nifty way to forget all of your Lightwave keystrokes. I'm using a game controller to trigger most of the Lightwave commands that I use. And I'm going to show you how you can do it. And yeah, if you like it, you can do it too. I've found that sometimes holding my fingers over the Shift and the Control and the Alt keys while using Modeler, it can be quite uncomfortable and sometimes even a little painful for me. So that's why I set up, here's a picture of it. I set this up with my Logitech F310 controller, and it does a good number of things that I do most often, but I just got this new program called XPadder, and that's why I'm sharing this with you today, because you can fit many more controls and organize them in a very logical way, and it's great. So let's take a look at it. I'll start by, and you see I'm still using the menu buttons on occasion, but let's drop that tool using the controller. Let's rotate the view around, move the view, scale the view, use the G key to move around, and focus or focus on a selection. So those, you can see all those are grouped here in with the navigation. And let's see. Let's deselect. Oops, wrong one. Let's select more. Select less. Select all. Invert selection. Select mode, moving from point to edge to polygon. Volume mode, or back to point mode. I said back to point mode. There we go. And oh, we got hide selected. I think I may need to tweak this. Yeah, it's working, but it seems like I have to hold it down a really long time. But anyway, let's show you how I did this. Oh, and of course we got add points, knife, and extend, and some other comma stuff, and I can keep filling this out with more. But let me just show you how it works. It's pretty cool. First thing to note is this will work with just about any controller you have. So I'm using the Logitech F310. You can use an Xbox controller, you can use a PlayStation, you can even use a steering wheel or a flight stick if you wanted to, although that'd be kind of weird. And so you start off by going in here, and you can paste an image of your controller in here, and then you drag the controls around like sticks, buttons, triggers, stuff like that, and you just configure it based on how many options there are on your controller and line it up with the graphic of your controller. And so it's done with that. And then you go in here and you can configure all the keystrokes that get triggered by hitting the various buttons. But it's deceptively sophisticated. So let's take a look. The first simplest thing I have here, right here, N key. Oops, wrong button. There, the numeric panel right there. And so when you click on it, you can see it pops up a little keyboard. You can hit the N key, and you're good to go. But some of these are more complex. Let's take a look at. First of all, let me unhide, or maybe it's focus. I don't know. Seems like I've lost my point of reference here. So I'll just make another one. Alright. So let's take a look at rotate. Right here. I can tap it, and I'm in rotate mode. I can rotate this. If I hold it down a little longer, it does the 90-degree rotation. So that's two commands I got in one button that happen to be related. Pretty cool. Let's take a look at this one. I got move, drag, and point normal move. So let me select some stuff here. Let's go to move mode. I can move it. Let's go to drag. I can drag it. And let's go to point normal mode. Whoops. Yeah, I think I need to reanalyze how I set that up. But let's take a closer look at this one. For this one, you go into the Advanced tab here, or button. Now let's take a look at what's happening. The first thing here, this is a button press. I'm sorry, it's a release zone. And what we're basically doing are defining conditions. And so it's saying if I release the button between these two time indexes, then it will trigger the Y key. So it's starting with 0.01 seconds and it's going to 0.3 seconds. So a third of a second. If you can tap it for less than a third of a second, I get the Y. If I hold it for longer than a third of a second, and this one, the last one left off at 0.3, so I start off at 0.31, and this is a hold zone, and let's see, what's this one? Add pause. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how all this works, but I just know if you do it in this way, it works. So if I hold it for longer than 0.3 seconds, it will instead trigger the R. Okay. So I got that set up for like, whoops, for like a transform. There's a transform tool. Or if I hold it down longer, I get the tweak tool. Like so. Now for this one, let's take a look at this and see what's going on. Maybe I made a stupid mistake in here. Yeah, it's worked for me before. Let me try it again. Yeah, it's working. I just didn't hold it down long enough. Or maybe there is certainly a better way to configure it, but I'm not an expert at this really. I just bought this recently. I'm still figuring things out. But basically I tap it, I'm in move, I hold it for longer than a third of a second, I'm in drag, and if I hold it for like almost 3 seconds and let go, I'm in point normal move. So I'm doing the same thing for this one, select mode. Okay, so if I tap it, I get the space bar, which cycles through these point, edge, and polygon modes. If I hold it for longer than a third of a second, but less than whatever's over there, I get Control J, which puts it into volume mode. And because when you go into volume mode, hitting the spacebar does nothing. That's just like a weird thing about Lightwave. I used Control G to put it back in point mode. So I got point, edge, polygon, point, edge, polygon. If I hold it down, I get volume, and if I hold it down for a long time, I'm back in point mode. it seems like it doesn't trigger till I release it, and that's, I could probably do that better if I really figured it out with XPadder. But anyway, let's close these. Now these two buttons up here, the top bumper and the trigger, I have them referring to different selections, different setups. So if I hold down the bumper, I get the G key thing, or moving, or rotating, or zooming. And note that move and rotate and zoom are lined up with move, rotate, and scale. So it means I don't have to remember different layouts for different sets. They're kind of like all lined up together. So I always know right is rotate, whether I'm here, or if I set it up for something else too. But anyway, and of course focus. So what this thing does here, we click on this, go to advanced, and we go to set selector. So it's saying set to while held. So as long as I hold the button down, it will use whatever is set up on set number 2 down here. You can change it to, instead of while you're holding it down, you can just change it to go to a different mode. So if you tap it, then everything in 2 becomes active, but then you would have to figure out a way to get yourself back to 1, because it's no longer while I'm holding it down. So this is just the way I prefer to do it. You can set it up any way you want. So you click on 2, and we can edit all of these things as well. Focus, I'm doing A and Shift A, whether I tap or hold. And let's look at set 3. I got knife and add. Let's check it out. Well, let's just select a number of them there. So if I say knife, actually knife doesn't work so well in perspective mode. Let's try that again. There we go. That's a knife. Also, I have drop tool here on the right stick. If I just flick it with my thumb to the right, it will drop any tool that I have selected. Extend. Okay, I just had that for E for now. I may, build on this weld average down here. Add points. And make or remove polygon, whether I click or hold it down. So I could say, make sure you go back to set number 1 before you start experimenting. Let's go to point mode. Let's say add points. It's not adding points. Why not? Oh, okay, yeah, add points is based on what you have selected. I need to change that to the Shift equals key. Yeah, that's how you add points. So create points, I guess. Anyway, make poly, or remove poly. So yeah, it's going to take me a while to get used to it. I just wanted to bring this to your attention. It's XPadder.com. You can get really crazy with all of your setups. I'm sure that there's a better way to set up 3 commands in 1 key. Right now, if I hold it for almost 3 seconds and let go, then it triggers it when I let go. It'd be nice if it triggered it while I was holding it, so I don't have to. So I get, I get some feedback to see that it's working. And I hear that you can actually set up commands for double clicks. Don't know how to do it yet, but take that as a hint. You can go to XPadder.com, go into their forums. They got all sorts of posts in their forums about how to do different kinds of tricks. But yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoy, and take it easy.